everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to take a look at the new Batman Adventures 6-inch scale Robin figure from DC Collectibles. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we've seen with all the figures in this line. You've got the card back with the blackened in image of Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. The figure's clearly displayed on the card back along with the accessories, and then down below you have the new Batman Adventures logo. Off to the side we have the name of the character, and it tells us that this is figure number 10 in the series, and also on the side it tells us that the figure was sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. Then finally on the back we again have an image of Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now, before we look at the figure, let's first take a quick look at the accessories. So it comes with a typical figure stand like we see with all the figures in this line. You've got the white base with the turnaround image of the character, and then you've got the clear plastic clamp type stand. And with this one, it just moves up and down. It's a little bit shorter since Robin is a shorter figure, and it holds the figure pretty good. We also have a pair of handcuffs. These are episode specific. We see Robin putting these cuffs on one of the thugs that him and Nightwing have taken down. It's part of the episode Old Wounds, where basically Nightwing tells Robin why he gave up being Robin. The handcuffs themselves, they don't actually open. They're done with kind of the handcuffs themselves are just a plastic, silver plastic, and they don't actually open, and then they've got an actual chain that holds the two cuffs. However, you can still actually put them on figures. You just have to pop the hands off and then kind of stick the little peg in and then put the hand back on. So even though the cuffs don't technically open up, you can actually put them on the figure and handcuff a figure. He also comes with a batarang. It's a tinier batarang, just all black. And then he comes with a grapple gun. And I actually kind of broke my grapple gun. I thought that I thought it was one of those grapple guns where the grapple was actually removable, and so I just kind of pulled on it without even thinking and just kind of snapped it in half. This one does not have the removable grapple, so just be careful. It also, like with the other figures, Batman and Batgirl in this line, has a hand that has a grapple gun sculpted in it, and that one, the grapple, is actually removable. Now, besides the hand with the sculpted in grapple gun, it does come with 3 different pairs of hands, which is pretty standard with the figures in this line. So you have the closed-fisted hands. Actually, with this one, it's actually not closed-fisted. They're actually somewhat open, so you can put the grapple gun in this one or the batarang. And he has another pair of hands that are a little bit more open. And then he's got a pair of hands that are just slightly open for holding the batarang. So it's actually kind of weird because normally they give us closed-fisted hands which are attached to the figure when you take it out of the packaging, but with this one they've basically just given us 2 different pairs of open hands. Okay, so for the figure itself, I think DC Collectibles has done a pretty good job on this one. Sculpt is pretty good. Now I will say that, again, like with all the new Adventure Batman figures, the head seems maybe a tad little bit on the large side. But for the most part, I think it looks pretty good. Got the all black hair, and it's sculpted very much like we saw in the cartoon. Then he's got the black mask with the more whited out eyes than the Batman the Animated Series Robin. And then he's kind of got that smirk like you often saw in the cartoon. He's got a cape, just a vinyl, made with that vinyl material that is flexible. It's black on the outside and then yellow on the underside. And it's a little bit shorter than the Dick Grayson version of Robin. And then he's got the black gloves, the red shirt, he's got some black on his sleeves. Now you'll notice they have part of the arm is done, they've kind of started with the red and then moved over to the black, which I think again is pretty cartoon accurate. And he's got the yellow buttons and then the Robin logo on his chest, which is black and yellow. He's got the utility belt, which not a lot of detail on the utility belt, just the belt buckle basically, and then the rest of it's just kind of smooth. He's got the black shorts and the red leggings and then the black boots and black gloves as well. Again, very basic paint applications, but no paint blemishes really of any significance on this figure. So overall I would say it looks pretty good. Okay, so the figure stands, if you count to the tip of his hair, just a little bit under 5 inches. So this Tim Drake Robin is on the short side, as he should be. You know, that's how he appeared in the cartoon. He is shorter than the Dick Grayson Robin. And it's kind of funny because the Dick Grayson Robin is actually wearing the costume that the Tim Drake Robin actually first appeared in wearing in the comic books. But for whatever reason, I guess because they thought this was a better looking costume than the original Robin costume, they gave the Dick Grayson Robin in the cartoon Tim Drake's costume, and then came up with this kind of modified version when they introduced Drake in the cartoon. Now, I don't think he ever wore this particular version of the Robin costume in the comics. I could be wrong with that. So scale overall seems to be pretty good. Here he is next to the Batman figure, and then here he is next to the Batgirl figure. So Robin is the shortest of the group. This version of Robin is the shortest of the group. So again, I think the scale on these figures works pretty good. For articulation, the head's on a ball joint. He can look left and he can look right, and he can kind of pivot his head to the left and the right as well. He doesn't really have any up or down movement with the head, though. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joints, but with the way the shoulders are sculpted, that is about as much out as you can get the arms. He does have good rotation at the arm. He has the single hinged elbows, so he can bend his elbow pretty good. And then he does have the swivel at the elbow as well. He has the swivel at the wrists, and he has the hinges on the hands, so he's got the up and down movement with the hands. No midsection joint, does have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with those side joints, so he can do the splits good, and he can do his leg forward about that much, can do his leg back about that much. Has a single jointed knee, so he can bend his knee about that much, and he does have the actually doesn't look like he has a rotation at the knee. Let me just double check. Yeah, no rotation at the knee, it doesn't look like, but he does have swivels at the boot cuff, and then has the ankle pivot and good up and down movement with the feet, and no peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like the figure. I think they've captured the overall likeness from what he appeared in the cartoon. Out of the two Robins, I do prefer the Dick Grayson Robin a little more over the Tim Drake Robin, but definitely, you know, if you're into collecting this line, you know, this version of Robin was an important part of the new Batman Adventures series, so I think you'll definitely want to add this to your collection. I think the scale is good, and again, overall sculpting and everything is pretty good. This figure is hitting comic and specialty shops now. We'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There's a link in the description below, and as always, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and if you're so inclined, please like the video. And until next time, I'll catch you later.